good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first edition of Rubbing Minds this November month in the year 2014. I am Demileke Oscar Onyiso, and I'm filling in for Ebuka, who is unavoidably absent. But nonetheless, we have a bumper package for you this afternoon. Major stories. Are we talking about Burkina Faso and the military taking over? Are we talking about the Boko Haram, who have agreed to a ceasefire, but for some reason, people are still being kidnapped and terrorism is still on the rise? And of course, joining later on the show as we talk to an entertainer who has decided to go down the line of politics. Now, you would agree with me that this 2015 is going to be quite interesting. It's going to be one of a kind, as many entertainers, be it musicians, be it comedians, be it actors, taking up the stand and, of course, vying for seats, be it at the state level or at the national level. We'll talk more to this very entertaining entertainer as he sheds light on his agenda for 2015. Welcome to Rubbing Minds, and of course I am not alone. I have a guest here with me. He is a writer, and he will be helping me to analyze some of these topics today. As you all know, I am not really vast in the area of politics, which is why we have a young man in the name of Wilfred Okiche joining us this afternoon. How are you doing, Wilfred?
I'm fine, thank you.
Happy New Month.
Same to you.
Are you scared? Just relax. You're in good hands. Don't forget to join us, join the conversation on Rubbing Minds as well. Our Twitter handle will give you more information, or should I say, to be scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Now, it's been quite an entertaining week, and from Burkina Faso, the president resigns after 27 years, and the military takes over. A lot of people protesting this, going to Ouagadougou, that's the capital, to stage their protest. Give us a little insight as to what's going on.
Yes, it's the good people of Burkina Faso, mostly the youth population, came out en masse, and they had enough of their president. This guy has been in power for 27 years. A lot of them were not born when he assumed power, and he had no intentions per se of leaving the office. Initially, when the protest started, he promised to leave. He dissolved the government and said he was going to stay until another elections will be held. But the people were having none of it. They were relentless. They came out en masse. Was violent at times, but they knew what they wanted. And after 2-3 days, he backed down and left. So it was a victory for them.
Well, victory could be relative. A number of people are of the opinion that the transition might be a bit shaky. And if you take a cue from Nigeria, where we were so desperate for democracy, I don't know if the reverse is the case there, but the military have taken over. There's meant to be a transition. This seems to be a recurring thing in most African nations. Democracy, is it something that most African nations are actually prepared for?
Well, these guys have been in a dictatorship for 27 years. So democracy is not something they are used to. It's not something they know. It's something they hear that may be better off for them. And with protests like this, or revolutions in quotes like this, they just come up. There's not always a plan for succession. So the military tends to take advantage of the chaos that follows the program. This time it has been no different. The military leadership stepped in and took over power. So it's now like they haven't really gotten to the final point. But there's hope that these guys will avoid what happened in Egypt. There's hope that these military guys will be able to stay on for the interim and then organize credible elections where the people. But then another colonel,
not being too optimistic.
Yeah, it is actually, because then we heard reports that another colonel came up and said he was in charge of the country. So this things like this, because there's no plan per se, they don't give room for practical handover. So that's the disadvantage.
Well, the AU, the UN, the US, and regional countries, ECOWAS, all condemned the military takeover. There might be implications for this harsh takeover in terms of sanctions. What role do you see Nigeria playing in all of this, in as much as we have our own wahala to deal with?
Well, like Nigeria, we've always prided ourselves as the giant of Africa, and I don't know how much of it is true these days, but then again, we've been in a democracy since 1999, so we have experience in these things. So our president, our diplomatic corps should be able to step in and play that big brother role, so to speak. Put pressure on their military if it comes to that, so that they do the proper thing and hand over and organize elections, credible elections, as soon as possible.
Well, talking about credible elections, INEC that's coming back home.
Okay.
They've blown the whistle for the 2015 general elections. Just a quick rundown. We have campaigns for presidential and national assembly elections commencing November 16th.
Okay.
Governorship, state house of assembly elections start November 30th.
Okay.
We have national assembly and presidential elections February 14, 2015. Governorship as well as state assembly elections for February 28, 2015. Now, the agenda is set. We've already been getting hints here and there. President picked up his form this week. There's a lot of buzz, a lot of momentum towards 2015. On the issue of transparency, on the issue of accountability, especially on the part of INEC, who have a very serious role to play. Now, Okiche is behind us now, but a lot of people are worried as to how the elections will play out in terms of safety for the people, in terms of as reduced violence, and of course we can't help but witness a lot of camping and decamping and accusations and counter-accusations. With this timetable now, what do you see for 2015 and our general elections?
Okay,
I know it's a big question, but let's try and narrow it down.
2015 already has started the run-up to the elections with the declaration by INEC. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting past week. It's going to be an even more interesting couple of months. But as for the elections proper, we hope that we have gone past that stage of violent elections and killing people, in as much as we want more people to be aware of their to participate in their civic duties, come out, vote, protect their votes. We hope that we are past that era of do or die politics. President Goodluck Jonathan has not been that kind of leader that would go all out to secure victory in elections, as we've seen since he came on. His ruling party, the PDP, has lost a couple of elections, and nothing, the sky didn't fall.
So I say they've gained a number of allies as well.
Yes, and they have. Yes. So it's a different scenario we're going to have in 2015 than we had in, say, 1999, 2003, 2007.
Okay. Sorry to cut you short there. Still on the issue of elections, of course, we'll have a guest later on who will be discussing about his particular ambition. In other political happenings this week, Daily Momodu is said to now have, should I say, he's adopted the term, or should I say the principle of Buharism. And for those who do not know, that's basically the ideology of General Muhammadu Buhari when he was in rule in power from 83 to 85. And I'm not too vast in this particular Buharism, but can you shed more light on what Buharism represents?
Well, I don't think that I know much about because but personally I've not been a fan of General Buhari, so I have not really taken interest in what he's about. But I feel that everybody, like they say, has their right to. He's not even the presidential candidate of the APC yet, so they still have some votes to cross before.
Okay, we'll be back after the break. We have Super Falcons, who obviously did the nation proud, find out what happened there. And of course, Tambuwal decamps to APC, some of the other stories we'll be taking a look at. It's still Rugby Minds. We'll be back after the break.